to have a vision for your life based on your character and your values, based on the legacy that you want to leave. So that way you don't feel like you regret different aspects of your life.
Hey, what's going on? This is Seth Hood and Joe Ignis with the Elevate Your Life podcast, where we have conversations around fitness, business, and mindset and give you quick value for your fast paced life so you can listen and apply it instantly. So, on today's episode, this is episode 4, we're going to be talking about goals and what we like to call be, do, have. So, Joe is going to give a little intro. This is actually going to be a 4-part series. So we have 4 episodes. We're going to go over the intro. We're going to dive more specifically into B. The next episode is going to be on do. Next episode after that is going to be have. So Joe, you want to take it from here?
All right, here we go. So this is the what the heck is a BDU have and why it's important and some things and some reasons that you're going to want to do this. But it has everything to do with goals and a long-term vision is the basic idea, and how it categorizes it into 3 distinct portions to help you think through vision. Because whenever people say vision, everyone's like, how do you come up with that? Or someone will ask you like, what do you want to do in 25 years? Or, what's your purpose? And, you're just like, oh gosh, it's just an awkward question. No matter what age you are, you can be asked that age when you're 50, and you still may not have that great of an answer in some ways. I don't know. I'm working this job or whatever, right? So the idea here is to have a vision for your life based on your character and your values, based on the legacy that you want to leave. So that way you don't feel like you regret different aspects of your life. And when you have something like this, you're not going to get burnt out. You're not going to want to procrastinate as much. You're not going to want to spend time with negative people. It's a very extremely important thing to do in your life. No matter what age you are, you could be 15, listen to this. You could be 45, running your own multi-million-dollar business. Maybe you never heard of it. Maybe you're just hard worker. I don't know. But this is why it's so important. And so the B, this is like qualities. Who do you want to become? And the way you start thinking about this is sort of thinking about, what do you want to not be known for? Should be a long list. And then based on that, you can sort of figure out, at least here's some things that maybe you do want to be known for. And even looking a lot further, if you were at your funeral, dun dun dun. If you were at your
Man,
funeral,
we're getting deep today, Joe.
yes, we are, right? Kind of morbid, I know, but you're looking over, you're watching the procession, and your son or daughter gets up there and they're talking about you. What do you want them to say or not say? And what you do, you're just going to write all those things down, for example, and we'll give you, in the next year episode, we'll give you a lot of more specifics and things like that, and then how to really come up with that list. But try to do 30, for example. It's pretty hard. You'll get like 6, and then you'll have to really think, and then you'll realize you've never thought about this before, which is good. The do, these are things that you want to do, like what kind of legacy you'd like to leave. Seth, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with do, it's just like what what initially comes to my mind, and what I'll say. We're going to touch more on this in the next episode on B. But most people do this backwards, right? Most people, when they think about their goals, it's very natural to think about like, man, what are the things I want to have in life? Like, I want that Lamborghini, I want that nice car, I want that big house, that hot wife, right? Like a lot of times we think of our goals of like the opposite way, where it's have to be, right? And so whenever again, I'm naturally wanting to talk about B because this has been drilled in my head these last couple of years. But with do, it's just thinking through like, okay, when I'm going throughout my life, when I look back and I have these memories of all the things I've done in my life, and I just get super stoked and excited, and I'm just proud of all the things I've done in life. Like, what are those things, right? And this is why the B is super important because the the do and the have should be aligned with who you are as a person, with your values, your morals, like your character, right? And so do's like could be like, hey, I want to travel. I want to travel to as many countries as I am like old, right? Like by the time I'm 40, I want to travel to 40 countries. right? I want to compete in some kind of competition, right? For me, one of my do's was I want to compete in a physique competition. And I'm very blessed that I had an awesome coach. So shout out Keenan. And I did very well. I actually won my first show last May. I took overall and won like 5 swords. So, um, right. And obviously, like I would have never accomplished that. There's a lot of things like after you figure out what you want, but there's no way I would have ever even known that's something I wanted to do if I first didn't understand the beat, right? And so, um, I think that's a pretty good explanation of like what you want to do, like within your day to day life, your weekly life, like to your like year to year, you know.
Absolutely. I love that. And the have, so that third one there, that's like sort of the lifestyle. So exactly like Seth's saying, the be is the most important part. That's your character principles, who you are. The do is an extension of who you are. Like where you spend your time is who you are. So if you're going to Christian concert, it's an extension of your belief. For example, if you're going to the gym, it's an extension of your belief in fitness. If you're working here, it should all be an extension of be. And what you find is most people don't do things that align with their character a lot of times, why they get burnt out, why they don't like what they're doing. It's why they, work for the weekend, so to speak, which a lot of people do. So, oh, we've got a finger here. So hang on, hang on. We're picking you, Seth, right in the front there.
Nice. So, and I think why it's so important to understand the B and like again, all the things that go into that, your values, your character, your morals, like the characteristics you want to have, is because if you don't know those things, the reason why we have a society that just follows each other, right? It's like, hey, society says to do this thing, so most people will do this thing. The reason that is because people don't know their B, right? They don't know who they are and what they value. And so any random thing that comes up in that time, hey, here's a job with this amount of money. You'll have a good amount of people who are going to go do that job just because that's what society tells them to do.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Seth, you need to be on my On the Side of Truth podcast. This is great. You're gonna be the next guest. Absolutely,
Nice.
right. So people just do whatever they're told, right? So, they have, right? So people are culture, marketing, whatever, they try to be, hey, if you have this, you're gonna feel this way, but it's the opposite. Like before you ever have anything, you've got to know who you are and your identity, or you'll never be happy with what you're having or what you're gonna be doing, So this is the foundation for the rest of what you're motivated, passionate about, and for your future. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully it'll get you started. We'll be going into
And
diving into each one in the next couple series, videos, episodes.
absolutely. And we'll talk about this more, but with have, because we didn't really touch on have that much, but it's also important to have the haves because these sometimes can be your motivators, right? Like even the dues can be motivators, like going on vacation, right? Like, hey, I'm working for to have a really nice house, right? Like, hey, that might be an awesome external motivation for you. Over time, you're going to want to change that to internal, but there's a reason all three of these are in here. They have a list of importance, but they're all important in their own way. So that is what we have for you right here. This is just the intro to Be Do Have. So we are excited for this 4-part series. So go ahead and listen to the episode on B, which is episode 5. And other than that, like and subscribe to our Elevate Wellness YouTube, our Instagram, The Elevate Wellness, and our Facebook, Elevate Your Mind, Body, Life. So we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next episode.